In just 6 years, we've gone from 1 state with legal sports betting to 38. Americans now wager over $150 billion annually on sports. And for many, especially young men, what started as casual fun has spiraled into financial ruin, depression. This isn't just about bad luck. It's about a perfect storm of technology, deregulation, and aggressive marketing that's created what experts are calling a public health crisis. Let's start with the numbers, because they're staggering. In 2018, the Supreme Court struck down a federal ban on sports betting. Almost immediately, states rushed to legalize it. Sports betting revenue exploded from less than $5 billion in 2017 to over $121 billion in 2023, with 94% of those bets placed online. By 2024, Americans were wagering roughly $150 billion, up 23% from the previous year. And with this explosion came consequences. Since 2018, the risk of gambling addiction in the US has grown 30%. Google searches for gambling addiction help have climbed 23% nationwide, reaching all-time highs. When states launch new sportsbooks, addiction helpline searches spike dramatically, 30% to 67% increases in states like Ohio, Massachusetts, and Pennsylvania. Here's what's particularly alarming. This crisis is hitting young men the hardest. 10% of men aged 18 to 30 now show clear signs of problem gambling, more than 3 times the rate of the general population. 45% of men under 30 report at least one problematic gambling behavior, like borrowing money to gamble or experiencing emotional distress from losses. Why young men? It's a perfect storm of vulnerability. Their brains, specifically the prefrontal cortex governing impulse control, aren't fully developed until the mid-20s. They're psychologically predisposed to risk-taking, and they're being targeted with marketing that frames sports betting as part of fandom, as proof of sports knowledge, as something every guy does. But demographics alone don't explain this crisis. The real accelerant is technology. Online gambling platforms aren't neutral. They're engineered environments designed to maximize engagement and create compulsion. These apps hijack your brain's dopamine reward system, the same pathway involved in substance addiction. The anticipation of a potential win triggers dopamine release, creating pleasure and reinforcing the urge to continue. The platforms use variable reward schedules, the same principle that makes slot machines so addictive. Small wins and near misses create the illusion that a big payout is just around the corner. In-play betting and micro-betting allow hundreds of wagers on minute events within a single game, creating rapid, continuous cycles that experts describe as fast food gambling. And it's always there. What once required a trip to a casino now sits in your pocket 24/7. This convenience has amplified participation and, catastrophically, the risks. If the technology is the trap, advertising is the bait. The sports betting industry has spent over $1 billion annually since 2021 on advertising. During the 2025 Stanley Cup Finals, viewers were exposed to gambling logos or ads an average of 3.5 times per minute, one instance every 13 seconds. In a single Premier League soccer match in the UK, betting logos appeared 3,500 times. This isn't accidental. These ads employ seductive tactics, risk-free bets, celebrity endorsements, flashy odds promising big wins. They create an illusion that everyone is betting and winning. Studies show that people already struggling with gambling are 40 times more likely to increase their betting after seeing ads. For young men watching sports, which is exactly where these ads are concentrated, the message is clear. Betting isn't risky, it's part of being a fan. The consequences are devastating. 23 million Americans are in debt due to gambling, with average losses around $55,000. 20% of problem gamblers file for bankruptcy. Research shows bankruptcy filings rise 25-30% within 4 years of a state legalizing online betting. Up to 50% of people with gambling disorder have committed a gambling-related crime. So what can be done? For individuals, especially young people, the most effective strategies are education and open dialogue. Talk early about how gambling works, that the house always wins in the long run. Build gambling literacy the same way we teach about drugs and alcohol. Limiting exposure. Use ad blockers, platform settings to opt out of gambling ads, and parental controls on devices. Remove betting apps from your phone entirely if you're trying to quit. Financial safeguards. Set up barriers like blocking gambling transactions at your bank, never gambling on credit, and using prepaid cards with small balances. Self-exclusion tools. Apps like Gamban and BetBlocker can block access to thousands of gambling sites. Many states offer self-exclusion programs that ban you from casinos and online platforms. Professional help when needed. Cognitive behavioral therapy is highly effective for gambling disorder. Support groups like Gamblers Anonymous provide community and accountability. The National Problem Gambling Helpline is available 24/7. On a policy level, we need comprehensive advertising restrictions, mandatory deposit limits, credit card bans for gambling, and dedicated funding for treatment from gambling tax revenue. The gambling industry has spent years normalizing what is, at its core, a highly addictive product. They've made it frictionless, glamorous, and ubiquitous. And they've done it fastest, where regulations are weakest, and where young men, the most vulnerable demographic, are watching.